Yak Attack Black Pack Pro. Pretty sure y'all know what that is. So I'm gonna actually be using this. I'm thinking, but most likely I'm gonna be using this for my battery box. I like the way it's set up. I like the connections I can add to it. And I'm really a minimalist, so I don't have too many things on my particular kayak. I'm not saying like, oh no, I against people that do or anything. I'm just saying as far as what I like to keep on my kayak, you know, it's not really much. I got my rods and my rod holders here. Excuse my garage, by the way, but that's another thing I did on this. So this is the Omega rod holder. And what happened was I got these Yak Attack Gear Track mounts, Mighty mounts actually, and as you can see, that's too wide to fit right here. Yeah, my error. So, not really thinking about. Well, let me come over here and show you guys this. Not really thinking about the Gear Track, the smaller version, and I got the cleat for my anchor, and this all temporary. I got a Motor Guide XI3 coming, so but I'm still bought this for temporary use for my anchor, and then we'll eventually find another home for it on the kayak. But yeah, so I got these two track mounts now, but couldn't wait. I was going fishing that weekend, so I ended up putting it here. Now I put it here because to get some of this stuff cleared off. I put it here because when you, one second, let's get all this situated. When I'm sitting in my seat here, I have being that my anchor is over here, it works better for me to have my rod holder here. It's nice, secure, it's not going anywhere. It worked perfect, and this is not Gear Track or the Omega fault of this problem, but I don't know how well you guys can see. When I put the rod in, it automatically leans over, you know, in my way. And like I said, that's not the Gear Track or the rod holder itself, it's the way the kayak is. It kind of, and you know, this is one of my, that one locked down. And this is kind of so you know that it wasn't locked down, and it's not anything wrong with the Omega. Just had it dry fitted there. And that brings me to my next point of with this kayak. It's a good kayak. I like it. So far I haven't had any like water buildups back here or in the front up here, but right under this seat, water likes to build up. seen that water likes to build up right under the seat. Let me just show you what I did. Put sealant underneath here, which I eventually ripped out, but yes, I put sealant there to stop in hopes to stop the water. And what do you know? Water still builds up right under the seat. So I'm not sure what I would do going forward, and then it's kind of like at a hump, so the water cannot flow down in the scupper drains, so it just piles up all back here. Now, so far, this has been holding up. I check it after every time I come out, make sure there's no water or anything underneath or actually getting in the hull. So I seen a couple of videos on this saying they just didn't trust it. Well, I'm here to tell you it works, and you can trust it because no water end up in the hull. Other than that, so other than water building up in here, in this area under the seat, and I actually seen another guy with the same complaint. Other than that, it doesn't hold water. And I got this pump, got it from Dick's Sporting Goods. Very cheap. They actually had it on sale for $5. So I guess you could say I got a steal. And I keep this handy for that water problem. This is what I used to seal that. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't as much water as when before I sealed it. So it worked, but it didn't work how I would have liked it to work. So I'm going to reseal those again with some better stuff than this that I have. Okay, so aside from the water, and then the whole, and as you can see, it kind of bows in to the middle. So this bows out, the side bows in. So my rod is always right in front of me, and that's even using these track mounts, the factory track mounts. They got it at an angle to where your rod is constantly in your way. So that's a pet peeve of mine. What else can I say? I haven't even got a battery system for it yet because I'm waiting, very undecided. So at first I wanted to get my first initial thought was the motor guide, but then I'm like, well, I guess I can go speed rather than all that the motor guide has to offer. So I thought I wanted to go ahead and get the NK300 built by Newport Vessels. Great motor, I believe, but to start, and as I think about all the problems that I run across while out on the water, speed is the last of it. More of the problems I'm running across is the anchor. By the way, I'm gonna talk about that anchor probably in another video. But that anchor, it sucks. I would not buy another one. It doesn't hold. I mean, if it actually grasps to something, then it'll hold. Other than that, the anchor does not hold. So you're pretty much floating away, and that's a 3 pound, 3.5 pound anchor. So yeah, which is another reason why I decided not to go with the NK300, because I don't have a reliable anchor system. Not saying that the NK300 will not be something that I think about in the future, but for now, I am going to go with the Motor Guide. Okay. Like I say, everything else around the boat is pretty sturdy. Holds up pretty well. I have no complaints with it. A couple things here. So I did get, let's see. I did get an Ascend. I mean, it's the brand of the kayak. So I went ahead and got their product of a kayak cart, carrier cart. I can't really blame the cart itself. I would say it's more of my error. By the way, I am a new kayaker, so I'm still learning everything, learning which way to go, which is best, what's the best thing to do, what's the best ones to buy. Although I have a lot of help from YouTube, I'm still new. So I can't blame this particular cart on the struggles that I had. One being, it would turn to the side every time I would pull, or it would either lean off, or it was a clusterfuck. Excuse my language, but that's pretty much what it was. Taking it out. Now I got a different story about it, bringing it in, but taking it out, it was fairly difficult. But like I say, it was more of my error than the cart's error. So I'm not going to give that a bad rating. The first error being, I had the dang on cart all the way to the back of the hull. And that left me with a bunch of weight at the front. Poor choice. It was heavy as hell. And it didn't make it any better. It was all over the place. I got my paddle. It's a 240 centimeter Ascend tournament paddle. Let me assemble it for you guys real quick. Bear with me. I do only have one hand trying to record and assemble this, so bear with me. So here I do have my, again, 1 second, my Ascend 240 centimeter paddle. And it also comes with you can retrieve your line if you get stuck or anything like that on both ends. The paddle works for me. Of course, you're not going to travel as fast as you want. You're not going to go or get to spots faster, but it is a pretty lightweight paddle, and it does work pretty good. And actually, this video will actually be me talking about the Ascend 133X. I know I started off with the showing the goodies we have for it, but I gotta get this out about how I feel about the kayak itself. Now, once I get the battery, I can tell you guys more about the Yak Power system, but so for now, I haven't even used it. Haven't even turned it on, anything. I'm still, like I say, I do a lot of research, and I like to make sure what I buy is going to not only last, but it's going to work for me. So I did my research on the kayak. Nice starter kayak, I believe, and we're just shopping around for and looking at different motors and different things to power this bad boy. So this is what comes with the kayak. Share all your wiring harnesses and your motor deploy harnesses and stuff. This is a safety kit, whistle and air horn. And that's pretty much what I keep down in there. And by the way, that's great. I know it don't really seem like it, but no water is getting in there. And trust me, I know because I've been paddling. So being that I've been paddling, water is constantly in this area, but those scupper plugs drains it right out. Open this, dry every time. So that works perfect, I can say. So that'll be my review, pretty much. I would call this a dry review on the Ascend 133X. Like I say, I would say it's a good kayak. It is heavy, but I'm a pretty big guy, so I'm fine with the heaviness. But yeah, that'll be my review on the Ascend 133X. Great kayak. I like it. It works for me. One day in the future, maybe I do go to a higher brand, but for now, being that I'm a new kayaker, this is all you would need. And another reason I bought it, because I don't know what it is, I don't like the point that most kayaks have. I like mine to have more, give you the feel of a boat. So this gives me a feel of a small boat, the way they have it kind of wide up here in the front rather than at a point. I'm not really looking forward to zipping through the water, so I don't need a point. I like the way this style is because it gives me that feel of a boat rather than a kayak. So this will be my dry review, and I'll add a clip in of it out on the water, but this will be my dry review of the haul. Now, once I get the battery, another thing that I've been undecided about, I noticed I said this video was over 2 minutes ago, but another thing, when I post this video, I want to be clear that I'm a new kayaker. So be sure to drop your comments, because I'm still doing my research on the best fish finder. And like I said, I want to find fish with it, don't get me wrong, but I'm really focused on my speed and how deep of water that I'm in. Those are my two main things. Yes, I do want to find fish, But as a new kayaker, just drop some comments down and let me know what fish finders would you go with as a beginner, you know. But yeah, that'll be my dry review on the Ascend 133X. Great boat. Everything seals up pretty nice. Only problem, that water that piles up underneath the seat, and the way the hull kind of leans in, and when I set my rod holder down, it, you know, kind of in front of me. Like, I give a good example. Over the weekend, I went fishing. Obviously, this is a kayak, but I had 2 fish on. So one fish, it was a clusterfuck, but that's another video. So I had one fish on, so I got this. This was where my other rod holder was, back here. So it just was all over the place. I got this rod leaning over in front of me, this rod behind me. Me personally, I think I would have, just imagining how most people sit in a kayak and in their seat, I would have put these rod holders somewhere up here, like somewhere up here by the seat. And these as well. I wouldn't have put these gear tracks right here, because from the seat it is a hassle. Which is why I put my rod holder there instead of here, because when I put it here, I realized, hell, if I'm fighting a fish or if I'm putting my rod down to grab another rod, that's too far if I get a bite. So just stay tuned for this build. I am going to end the video here. Anything I missed or anything that you seen on the kayak and did not hear about, leave me a comment and I'll make sure I give you pretty much everything you want to know about it, and an honest review at that. Because I believe if you're going to spend $1,000 to $1,100 on a kayak, you should know honest reviews. So if you got any questions about the Ascend 133X in 2023, let me know. Leave a comment below and I will respond to each and every comment. Thank you.